Like any color I'd ever seen before.
Looks like a meteorite. It's radioactive?
Oftentimes with the work of H.P. Lovecraft, it tends to boil down to his most famous creations, which of course include Cthulhu, Nyarlathotep, and so on. Yes, they are memorable, and yes, they are incredibly well thought out creations. However, there are so many more monstrous legends that deserve our attention. Now, I am aware that a few of you took issue with part 1 of our list. You were disappointed with my selections and the lack of firm urban legends, but hear me out. There are quite literally no Lovecraftian urban legends. These are less urban legends and more simply legends of creatures hailing from the works of H.P. Lovecraft. They are still legends. So today on Top 5 Scary Videos, I'm going to be counting down our list of the top 5 scary Lovecraftian urban legends part 2. Before we begin though, be sure to stick around until the end of the video where I'll be responding to some of your comments. And with that, let's jump in. Coming in at number 5, Amigo. The Amigo are an extraterrestrial species from the planet Yuggoth, which is often implied to be the dwarf planet Pluto. They are often described as winged creatures with large claws and heads covered in antennae. They are an advanced race having a particularly sophisticated grasp of surgical techniques and neuroscience. They are described as pinkish, fungoid, crustacean-like entities with a convoluted ellipsoid composed of pyramided fleshy rings and covered in antennae where a head would normally be. They are fundamentally alien with respect to earthly life, according to 2 reports in the original short story. Their bodies consist of a form of matter that does not occur naturally on Earth. It is also said that they typically communicate by changing the colour of their heads. However, they are oftentimes able to speak the human language. If not, they can modify their bodies to make them able to speak. The Amigo can transport humans from Earth to Yuggoth and back again by removing the subject's brain and placing it in a brain cylinder, which can be attached to external devices to allow it to see, hear, and speak. The Amigo worship the Lovecraft gods, acting as servants to them throughout the various stories. In ancient times, they waged a war against the elder things on Earth before humans came into existence. Coming in at number 4, we have Ghast. To quote H.P. Lovecraft in Dream Quest of Unknown Kadath, the Ghast, those repulsive beings which die in the light and which live in the vaults of Zin and leap on long hind legs like kangaroos. After a moment, something about the size of a small horse hopped out into the grey twilight, and Carter turned sick at the aspect of the scabrous and unwholesome beasts, whose face is so curiously human despite the absence of a nose, forehead, and other important particulars. Ghasts are described as being humanoid creatures who dwell in the vaults of Zin, where they are often hunted by the Gugs. Gugs are a species of creatures featured in the Dream Quest of Unknown Kadath. They are large, black-furred beasts with vertically opening fanged jaws. Their 2 eyes protrude from either side of their head, and their limbs terminate in 2 paws each. Honestly, these dudes are downright terrifying. Anyway, back to Ghasts. Their language appears to consist of coughing gutturals. They also appear to travel in packs as Randolph Carter meets a group of 15. Together, they seemingly manage to take down a Gug. Coming in at number 3, Cassava. Cassava is not only Cthulhu's second bride, but also his sister, who bore him the twin daughters Ktosa and Cthulhu, who vaguely resemble their stepsister Cthulhu. Yeah, the family is a mess, and surprisingly, incest seems to be a minor horror in the works of Lovecraft. However, this family is a little too much for me. Cassava appears as a huge mass of writhing, coiled tentacles which are capable of extending to astonishing length, thus ensuring that the prey cannot escape or conceal themselves. While the rest of her capabilities are ill-defined, she is known to poison the waters that she inhabits. Typically regarded as the lesser old one, she is also said to be particularly violent to where even the great Cthulhu struggles against her to prove his strength. Coming in at number 2, we have Night Gaunts. To quote H.P. Lovecraft in the Dream Quest of Unknown Kadath, but Carter preferred to look at them than at his captors, which were indeed shocking and uncouth black things with smooth, oily, whale-like surfaces, unpleasant horns that curved inwards towards each other, bat wings whose beating made no sound, ugly prehensile paws, and barbed tails that lashed needlessly and disquietingly. And worst of all, they never spoke or laughed and never smiled because they had no faces at all to smile with, but only a suggestive blankness where a face ought to be. All they ever did was clutch and fly and tickle. That was the way of Night Gaunts. Now, Night Gaunts are a species of flying creatures inhabiting Earth's dreamlands. They are described as having, like I said, smooth whale-like skin, long slender humanoid bodies, curving horns, leather bat-like wings, and a blank expanse of flesh where a face would be. They are said to serve many gods and often capture people climbing the mountains in the Dreamlands. According to Lovecraft, they were inspired by the nightmares he had in his youth. And finally, coming in at number 1, we have Dagon. Dagon is a deity who presides over the Deep Ones, an amphibious humanoid race indigenous to Earth's oceans. His first appearance was in the Lovecraft short story Dagon, and is mentioned extensively throughout the mythos. He is a great old one and the consort of Mother Hydra. The legend is worshipped in the mythos by the esoteric Order of Dagon, a secret cult based in Innsmouth. Now he is noted as being of enormous size and is worshipped as a deity by the aforementioned cult of both humans and Deep Ones. Supposedly immortal, Dagon's longevity may very well be attributed to his fraternization with the Starspawn, species that have a physical similarity to the Great Old One Cthulhu, who sometimes select formidable specimens from a given species to protect, nurture, and empower for reasons known only to them. Now, Dagon only physically appears in the short story Dagon, in which he erupts out of the ocean to embrace an unholy monolith. However, he leaves a huge hole in the mythos, with his children being the ones extensively featured going forth. It has been said that Lovecraft based Dagon on the ancient Mesopotamian deity of the same name, who was a god of fish, fishing, and fertility. Now, this legend also exists outside of the world of Lovecraft, with the creature also existing in the world of the Witcher card game, in which his abilities allow him to create harmful weather effects on the opponent's side of the board. It was also the name of the Philistine idol in the Old Testament in the Bible. Well, there we have it. Do you guys agree with our list? Were there any Lovecraftian legends that we missed? Leave us all your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below, and perhaps we can do a part 3. Before I go though, I just want to respond to a few comments from one of our last videos. Top 5 scary real life curses you can't escape. Carrie Ann said, this channel is so underrated. Love it. Well, shucks. Thank you, Carrie Ann. GL Prime 2814 said, don't forget the curse of James Dean's Spider, the car he was driving when he had his fatal accident. Pretty easy to guess what happened after that, but just in case you do not already know, the car was supposedly cannibalized after the incident, and every car that received a part from it also met a violent end. I did know about that curse. Yeah, the car was scrapped and pieces were sent to people. People wanted to buy parts of the car, and those people that did, well, they died a horrible death. Chris Nunn said, he who disturbs Lucy's tomb shall be dragged to hell for eternity. Ain't that the truth? Don't even come near my tomb. Don't even touch it. LPS Johnson said, I'm very superstitious and wary of angering the one named Lucy. Those that have are never heard from again. Much love and respect. Keep up the great work. That is very true. There's a reason no one speaks about crossing me, because those who cross me disappear. Red Comrade of Steel 1974 said, Lucy McPhee, when I first saw you in Top 5 Scary Videos, I was cursed to watch you as a host until the end of times. You're welcome. Kimmy said, what's the movie in the beginning? Well, Kimmy, the movie was The Ritual. It is a great movie. And on that note, if you haven't already, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another scary vid. And until next time, see you later.